Let's get it. 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 Yeah.
Let's get it.
Got rings on the fingers of my team. Oh yes, indeed we winning. Everyone that doubted us came back. I guess they didn't mean it. I just hit that block and something new. I hope you see me in it. Couple years ago I couldn't picture. Yeah, I'm toting big nuts. My middle finger a smile. I work until my shift's up. I'm out to get them big bucks. Count money before I count sheep. Oh, what you know about me? I know we don't see. Your vision's way too cloudy. Yeah, let's get it. Hey, let's get it. Hold up. Let's get it. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your man AG Got Beats, back again with another More Than Beats podcast. I got my co-host in here, my homeboy Billy Blast. Say what's up to the people, B.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Billy Blast, Mr. Help Me Help You Be Vintage, back again with another More Than Beats podcast with my good brother AG Got Beats. What's going on, fam?
Ain't nothing, man. You know, a whole lot of shit at the same time. We just kind of keeping it moving, trying to elevate the Maschine Masters brand. You know, we still got the 3MG popping off with
right.
Music and stuff like that. So we just pushing, bro.
Yeah, man. Trying to stay afloat, man. Keeping it rocking and rolling, man. Why not?
Yes, sir. So how was your weekend, man? What you did?
The weekend was pretty cool, man. Watch the fight. You know what I'm saying? Of course, watch Deontay Wilder get cleaned up. You know what I mean? Thought he was going to do better than he did, but he got cleaned up by the dude. What's his name?
Tyson Fury.
Yeah. The Gypsy King. Yeah, he cleaned him up, man.
Yeah. How did you feel about the fight, man? What was you expecting? As far, you was expecting it to be a longer fight, more competition.
Yeah. I was expecting Wilder to get busy. You know what I'm saying? But when they first got into the ring, he kind of looked off anyway, but I think he underestimated Tyson Fury in this one, man. I think he highly underestimated him.
Yeah, he did look a little off to me too, man. He looked like he wasn't quite there.
Yeah. Something was off. I mean, there was reports that he had said something about the uniform or that costume that he had on weighed like 40-something pounds, which could probably play a part. You know what I mean? But I mean, obviously you had to have worn it and tested it out before you got on the before you wore it down to the ring. You know what I mean? I think he just underestimated Tyson Fury, and he got his ass beat, man.
Yeah, and I think with a fighter like Tyson Fury, I think Wilder has to step up his technical his skills and stuff, man. It ain't just a one punch knockout type deal with him. You know what I'm saying? He got to get his boxing skills up with that. Yeah. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think he was ready to go pound for pound like that with Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury came out from the gate like hooking off from the gate. He came straight at him. You know what I mean? So I think Wilder definitely has to go back to the drawing board and get some fundamentals back together. I mean, not saying that I'm a boxer or a trainer, any shit like that, but he's not a boxer. He's a fighter. Like, he want to brawl in there and look for that one right to just finish everything, but that ain't work, man. He got to definitely go back and learn how to, or not even learn, but just get some fundamentals back together, man, and get his shit together, man.
Definitely. I agree. Well, with me, I had I took the trip up to New York this past weekend.
Yeah. What's up? How was your weekend, man? How did that go?
It was good, man. It was good. I was able to go up there and see the city for the first time in like damn near over a decade. And
wow.
Man, it's been a minute. A lot changed. But it was all good, man. People were actually friendly, this time around. So that's the big thing right there. So I was like up there I went up there Thursday. I came back Sunday morning. Right. And went up there to film Rockwilder. Right. So we had an interview with Rockwilder. They did it on the spot. And then I also got invited out to Kid Capri's crib and went out there and chopped it up with him for a little interview, and he filmed on the spot as well. So looking forward to editing that up and putting it out. So we got some new content coming for the MM fam, so y'all stay tuned for that too.
What's up, man? That's dope.
Yeah. Well, I guess since we on that, speaking of that, man, I kind of had a clip of the interview that I wanted to play, and we can probably use that, huh?
Which one?
With Rockwilder.
Okay.
Yeah, so we could kind of use that, and maybe see what we can come up with as far as a topic for the day.
Okay. Yeah. Let's play it and see what's happening.
Recent beats. What do you feel about that going on right now?
I feel like it created a middle class ground for producers. For the producers that had tracks that were like, you know what Fat Fingers told me? He told me there's a lot of people that want to be stars. There's more people that want to be stars than people that are stars. So why we don't have a community of beats available for the people that want to be stars, and give them the beats that will give them the potential to become stars. We created a middle class for that SoundClick, big shout to SoundClick, and big shout to rockbattle.com for creating a middle ground. Lease Beats, a lot of people killed me about it, but there was people on my website that was quitting their jobs, that was paying their way through college. You know what I'm saying? Their beats were so dope. Why Charles' beats was so dope. He was able to maintain a salary just from his leased beats, and now he's with the stereotypes doing his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that was a quick clip of the interview that we had out there with Rockwilder in the legendary Cutting Room. So what's your thoughts on that, B, as far as leasing beats?
Yeah, leasing beats, man. I don't see a problem with leasing beats. Yo, what was crazy is he said he went back to rockbattle.com and SoundClick, right? Man. Those is throwback joints, man.
Right?
Yo, word. SoundClick and rockbattle.com. I remember I used to beat battle on that joint on rockbattle.com. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Man.
You said what?
I used to be on there on rockbattle.com. I used to have a little SoundClick page too, man.
Wow, that was like pre, my production days. Like that was right around the time I probably was just getting involved in producing. So I missed that era, but yeah, man, I heard a lot of stories about rock battle and SoundClick.
And you used to that was like SoundClick. Like in the beginning, that was where you would sell where you would put your beats at rockbattle.com and SoundClick to lease beats. Speaking of that, you know what I mean? To lease beats, I used to put joints up there. I had a couple of beats that got leased, but pertaining to that, man, I don't mind leasing beats. Like he said, that it was like a middle class.
Right. That was an interesting take on it to me, man, because I mean, and he had great points, because it's like everybody ain't stars. Everybody don't have the means to be paying, the certain amount of like what producers was asking for back then.
Yeah.
I think Swiss and Timberland, it was getting like $100K for a beat.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of artists couldn't afford that, man. So like he said, it created a nice middle ground, and I think that was genius as far as allowing people the opportunity to become stars.
Yeah. And even with that, where was I? I just lost my train of thought. Hold on. Even with that, it allowed people that didn't have a lot of money to go in there and buy beats, and then they could use them on their projects and all of that. But also too, with that, it's just like it's the same thing as like renting something. The producer was able to get paid.
Right.
And if you have 20, 30 beats up there and you leasing them, that means you could make a little bit of paper, because you have a couple of different artists that's leasing the same beat.
Right.
So one beat you leasing for, let's say, just for the sake of conversation, one beat you lease the beat for $50, but you get, we'll just say 10 artists that lease that same beat, then do the math.
Right. It's a easy way to make that money without really, hurting people's pockets.
Right. Right.
And especially if the platform is bringing a lot of traffic
to it.
To your beats. So like that, and that's one thing that I've realized as I got a little bit more into production. Like within the last few years, it was like I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, I probably would never sell beats again. And the reason why I say that is because if you lease or if you allow people to use your beats, you always have that beat, that you can go back and reissue it or resell it or get royalties and all of that stuff over and over again versus just selling it for that one pop, all exclusive rights and that beat is done, So I feel like I probably would never sell beats again. And that's just how I feel right now.
But then you also just to kind of counter that, you also too, when you leasing beats, you probably have to have some type of contractual situations to where if something happens with like a label or something with the beat, then they can buy the track outright completely to some degree. But now the thing with that though is when that started happening. Excuse me. When that started happening and the leasing of the beats started happening, that shit kind of spiraled out of control. Because on one hand, you leasing beats for $50, so now you kind of undersell yourself, because when you try to raise the price on your beats, everybody's going to be so used to paying that one price, they just going to move on to the next person. So now what happens is you have producer B that's now posting beats up for lease, but now they got their leases for $20, and then everybody, it started cascading, and everybody started lowering the price on how many tracks you could lease at one time or per se buy. But then everybody started selling themselves short just to make $1, which kind of turned it to shit. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think at that point, it all comes down to marketing and building a strong brand, because, again, like we talked about it before, at some point, everybody's going to be able to make a hot beat. It's like, what are you going to do to separate yourself from the next producer?
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, a lot of times it could be a sound that you pick, that you developed, and it's your sound, but somebody could come along and copy that sound, and and then you got two people that sound like that. Which is happening type. You have like the type beat situation. Right. But then you got, when you have your personal brand, it's going to be hard for somebody to just, steal your identity. I guess that can happen, but as long as you repping your brand and you always got it in people's faces and stuff like that, at that point, people come to you and buy your beats. You know what I'm saying? Because they trust your brand, they believe in your brand, and they're fans of your work. So I think that's something that as producers, we need to, put more focus on that as well, not just the beat side. Yeah. I mean, I can agree with that. I can agree with that to a degree, because a lot of times what be happening, man, is people get greedy. Right. You know what I mean? And they get greedy, and then when you have all of these said producers or beat makers, as we was talking about, in the last pod, producers and beat makers, now what happens is it's kind of flooded. It gets flooded. Now it's like everywhere you go, you got lease 3 beats for $20 and get 5 beats free. Right. Yeah.
So it's like, all right, what are we really doing here? So now that's where that kind of ties into the type beat situation, because not saying that type beats are wrong, because that's definitely a way to get paper, because artists want to sound like what's hot. So if you have that talent to recreate a sound or recreate a vibe that said artist is looking for, then by all means go get your paper. But now, it's so many of them doing that it becomes saturated and flooded, and there's a whole nother backdrop to that, because Now everybody's like, yo, I can get you your beats here, but now if you pay me $100, I can shop the beats for you and all of that. And then it just starts cascading downhill. But I definitely think that, we should always keep the thought process of pushing the product, which is pertaining to leasing beats. I think we should always keep that, because you always be able to get paid, and artists will always be able to have access to beats that they wouldn't be able to get from the producers that they would like to work with until that time comes where they could get there. Right.
Yeah. And you can make, let's be real, you can make a lot of money doing that shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So like, just like Rockwilder said in the interview, man, he had people that was quitting their job, people that was paying for their tuition and stuff like that, just off of leasing beats. So it's money to be made, but like you said, it gets flooded as well. And I think that, we have to do a better job at promoting our own brands.
Right.
And
you got to be able to cut through the crowd, man.
Yeah, you have to. And a lot, and I just want to mention, just like maybe even focusing on getting your own website. Like, people underestimate how important that is, to have a website.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if there's no traffic going to your website, even if you don't really promote it like that, what you should be doing, but just as a placeholder, if somebody want to do some type of research on you or see the things that you've done in the past, at least they have one central location where they can go and check you out.
Right.
Yeah, and it makes you look more professional. You know what I'm saying? And it gives people the warm and fuzzies inside, to say, hey man, I could get this dude a shot, because at least I see he's invested in himself and his brand.
Right. And touch all of the platforms with it too.
Yeah.
Touch all of the platforms, because it's just like you were just saying with branding. That's a part of branding. When people constantly see your brand and hear the quality of your work, they're gonna gravitate towards you at some point.
Definitely.
They're definitely gonna gravitate towards you at some point. And especially if you have a sound that's cutting through a lot of all of the extra noise that's going around.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that too, man, because a lot of things is going through my head right now. It's like, when you're focusing on building your brand, don't just look at the music aspect. Like, look at the other things that you can incorporate with the music that can help build your brand as well. And now I'm just talking from experience. Like, say for me, I've just recently started getting into videography. It was something that I always liked, but these are things that can help you get into doors that necessarily your beats might not be able to, or your tutorials, or whatever the case may be, whatever you're doing to build your brand. Just keep on adding on, man, because it's always something that's going to open more doors for you.
Right, definitely. Especially with visuals, man, because today, the climate of today, everything is like right in our hands, in the palm of our hands, and is, with social media, everything is really visual and right now. So before people are even clicking on anything, they see it. The first thought is this even something that I'm even interested in clicking on? So it has to be, you got to learn some type of way to catch the eye immediately. Yeah, definitely, because what they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Yeah. 1,000 words. So just imagine how many words a video is worth. So it's and I encourage people to try to find something, even try to think ahead, like what's going on, like look at the trends and stuff that's going on in music or what it is that you're trying to do, and look ahead and see what type of service that's gonna be needed in the future, and just start pushing towards that way you will be one of the first people to get into that field, and when that time comes, you're already cemented in that area. Comes in. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what we did with Maschine Masters, with the tutorials. Like, again, you see people doing tutorials and they opening up their studios and letting you look into their computers and stuff like that. We was doing that 8 years ago? 8 years ago, yeah. 7, 8 years ago, yeah. Yeah, so even if Maschine Masters, like slows down or we take a back seat or whatever, it's still
gonna be there as long as we still putting out content. It's still gonna be cemented in a lot of people's mind because we came in at the right time, you know, before it started taking off. So we was the only, you know, us and a couple other people, we were the only people doing it.
Yeah,
you know, and
definitely grab the wave, man.
Yeah, so it's like you always, you know, there's a lot of another generation that came up after you that's looking at it like, I remember them guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you always gonna be there because then they got people that's coming up under them. And if they talk about Maschine Masters, that's a whole nother generation that we didn't touch.
Exactly.
You know?
And before you know it, you a household name.
Exactly. That was the goal, right? That was the goal.
We become a household name and look at it now. But that's the consistency and the branding. You know what I mean? And the social mediating, if that's a word.
Yeah.
But that's where the consistency comes into place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And kind of also too, you know, foreseeing the way things are shifting.
Right.
You know what
that's
I mean?
That's a big thing.
Yes, kind of seeing the way things are foreseeing the way things are shifting and looking and saying like, all right, you know, we should start moving in this direction because, you know, we could be ahead of the curve.
Right.
So then when things, you know, when shit start changing, you like, all right, here we go. We right on the wave. We caught up already because we was already a step ahead, a step or two ahead. So that's definitely, and that's where your research come in. That's where your research come in, like A was saying. See what's going on, see what's happening, what's trending, and try to stay a step or two ahead.
Always, man. And you have to be open to reinventing yourself because with like, if you're just staying the same, longevity is hard to last if you're not, you know, changing up with the times and stuff like that. And seeing, like you said, the future and how you can change and again reinvent yourself to where that it gives you another 4 or 5 years added on to your career.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which I think people like LL Cool J, you know what I'm saying? I think he was great at doing that. You know, like Jay-Z, you know, you got, you know, Puff. Exactly. Like when the last time Puff made an album? You know what I'm saying?
Reinventing himself.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it because because things move so fast. Things move so fast today. Like I was just saying, you know, you kind of got to stay ahead of the curve. So you have to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on because there's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to reinvent yourself, and you rather be in the process of reinventing yourself with the time than try to reinvent yourself and catch up to what's going on because shit moves way too fast today.
So, you know, even with reinventing yourself, like sometimes you got to give away, like, you know, some free stuff, man. How do you feel about giving away free beats? And I'm not just talking about like as far as a marketing plan, but maybe to people that's inspiring to you. Like if you see an artist that's working out there and you see dope and it fits your sound, how do you feel about tossing him some free beats?
Of course, man, I would.
Okay.
If you digging the artist, because only thing that does at the end of the day, that also showcases your talent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it gives the artist a platform to express themselves, but it also shows your talent as you being, you know, a creative, so to speak.
Right.
So I would definitely, and even if you have to put a couple of beats, take 10 beats and put them up for free. You know what I mean? Because, you know, not even unfortunately, but you have to give something to get something in this day and age. And I mean, that's always actually been, but you got to give something to get something in this day and age. So if you have a demand for something, then make sure you can supply it. Cause like what Loaded Lux be saying, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
Yeah, man.
That's the situation right there, because you can, you know, you put per se 10 tracks up online or something, just to throw that out to the people. Somebody might like that and be like, oh, I bet, you know, let me holla at said producer or whatever. Or an artist says, yo, you know, I like the way these joints sound, yo, I want to do a project. And then there you go. Now you have something to work on.
Right. Yeah, I agree, man. I feel like, you know, not just out there, just, you know, anybody that hits you up, you giving away free beats and stuff like
Don't
that.
play
But
yourself.
yeah, but I feel like, you know, it's definitely worth giving away a couple of free beats to get something back in return.
Yeah, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, those beats cost you time, which is very valuable. But, you know, after you know, you already bought the equipment, you already did all of this stuff, man. Now is the time to market and get your stuff out there. So by any means necessary, whatever you got to do, and if that calls for free beats, then you got to do it, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about building your brand at this point. After you get to a certain level of skill, like, you have to get your stuff out there, man. So yeah, definitely giving away free beats, putting out albums, putting out EPs, projects and stuff like that. It's definitely a great way to do that.
Yeah, that's the guerrilla marketing, so to speak. You know, I mean, that doesn't even hardly exist anymore. But now with social media, you know, that's the same thing. You got to stay in people's faces.
Yeah, and the other thing, man, since you said that, it kind of, you know, made me think about something else. Just getting back into the era of face to face and being in the studio with somebody. It's like that feels great, man. It's like, you know, just going back to this past weekend, man, and be able to get in the studio with people and, you know, and feed off everybody energy and stuff like that. Right. Yeah, man. It's nothing quite like social media or sending tracks through email or, you know, whatever the case may be.
Because that shit is all right there. It's like you can't recreate that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can't recreate that, man. That's got to all be organic. You can't recreate that over no internet or nothing.
Nah, you can't, man. And I feel like, you know, I definitely want us to start going more in that direction as far as, you know, holding more Maschine Masters, you know, workshops, workshops or, you know, conferences, things like that, man. So that's definitely going to be on the plate, I think, for us coming up this summer. Like, let's shoot for that, you know? Yeah,
put a nice event together.
Yeah, definitely. Like, and let us know. Yeah, let us know in the comments, man, if there's something that you would like to see us do. You know, just drop. Matter of fact, you know what? Drop your city if you can down in the comments. Let us know where you at. That way we can start planning around, you know, where the most people are, and we can start putting together some type of event for the summer. So that would be dope, man.
Come to your city for 3-4 days or something.
Yeah, man. You know, and let us know what you're interested in. Like, if you want to, you know, get in the studio, you know, where you can make beats, make, you know, tracks and stuff like that, or if you want to learn, you know, where we teaching you the equipment that you use, maybe some extra tips and tricks or whatever. So just let us know, man. We definitely would like to hear that.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're just coming back, man. You know, coming back off a nice little break. Had some other things going on, so we just coming back to just get it brushed, get adjusted. You know what I mean? Touch the people real quick. We definitely be coming back with some more content for y'all next week. So,
yeah, you know. Definitely. And we, you know, I still want to say thank you guys for tuning in. You know, it was probably like about 3 weeks ago now, man. That was like a real touchy subject that we was on. Well, I ain't gonna say a touchy subject, but it hit home to a lot of people, and I think it inspired quite a few people to start doing their own projects and stuff like that. So we want to salute y'all, man, and just say thanks for listening to what we got to say and taking some of that to heart and just getting out there and doing it.
Word up.
You know, so yeah, until the next episode, I guess we'll holler at y'all, man. You can find us everywhere at Maschine Masters. I'm at AG Got Beats, and you can find Billy Blast everywhere at Billy Blast.
You already know, man. 3MG. As
yes, sir.
You know, like to say in closing, do you want to win or just look good losing? The choice is yours, man.
We're gonna win, baby. Let's win.
All right then.
All right.
Peace.